Well, Mexican drug cartels are not shy about making their presence known along the southern border to the point where they are turning everyday border towns into all-out war zones. With demand for smugglers on the rise, the crimes in some of these towns are turning outrageously violent. Different cartel groups are killing each other, challenging Mexican authorities to try to gain control of the smuggling routes, as the smuggling effort itself has turned into a billion-dollar business. So let's welcome in Luis Chaparro, an independent journalist and producer covering narcos, drugs, and immigration along the southern border. Luis, great to see you again. We know that there's always been this competition between different criminal organizations, but how is it different now than in years or even decades past?
Hi, Nichole. Thank you for having me. And I think the issue right now is the amount of money, the incredible profitability criminal organizations are getting from human smuggling. They've been rising their prices up to 10,000 US dollars for a single person just to get them across the border, or even just to turn them to US border authorities, let's say Border Patrol, or in some cases, like in Texas, the Texas State Troopers. So this is, first of all, this is making them extremely powerful with more arms, more weapons, and more resources to operate across the border. But also, this is making them fight. So it's turning several different border cities like Ciudad Juarez across El Paso, or Sonoita across Lukeville, into truly war zones. It's more and more common that now they're fighting to earn these chunk of the pie in border Mexican cities.
You know, and Luis, I want to talk to you about the people who end up being caught up in all of this. Let's start with the migrants. How dangerous is it for the migrants who end up caught in the middle?
Well, the thing right now with migrants is that they can't arrive to a Mexican border city without first making contact with a Mexican drug cartel. The contact starts not at northern Mexico. It actually starts right after they cross from either Guatemala or one of the southern places. They have these networks of smugglers that they need to talk to so they can freely transit across Mexico, not only to have the proper corruption fees to Mexican authorities to let them get across Mexico, but also to have codes. In some cases, they use wristbands, or they use, like different signals or code words to tell these cartels around Mexico that they have already paid the extortion fee they need to transit across Mexico. Now, when they arrive to the northern border with the U.S. and the Mexican side, usually they get kidnapped. The smugglers, they say they're just waiting for the right time to smuggle them in, but they need to really hide them well, because now what they're doing is different rival cartels are trying to steal them to actually get the money for themselves. So migrants are now in the middle of really a turf war or a war for them, as they see them as valuable merchandise. Most of them, I interviewed recently these cartel member overseeing smuggling operations in Ciudad Juarez, and he said that they're not even making that much money from cocaine as they're doing right now with migrants, human smuggling.
Wow, yeah, so the migrants themselves are the commodity. All right, so Luis, there are more people caught up in this. How dangerous is it for the residents of these border towns?
It is absolutely wild right now. We call, like, let's say an Uber driver. They've been killing a lot of Uber drivers in places like Ciudad Juarez. Many of them have been killed not even knowing that they're transporting migrants to the border. Let's say someone arrives to the local bus station or the airport. They request an Uber. The Uber driver goes, picks them up, and then they set the location right at the highway that it's next to the border wall. When they drop them there, after they drop them, they get shot and killed by rival gangs, thinking that they are actually part of a rival gang trafficking or transporting migrants to the border. So now it's not only migrants, but it's also local residents who are trying to make a living, like Uber drivers or just regular people. A lot of like bus drivers as well have been being a target by these gangs. And in places like Sonoita, where we saw these huge, violent gunfight between two cartel groups, you see that there's people in the middle. They start fighting at 7 in the morning when everybody's leaving to leave their kids to school. So now it's becoming even dangerous just to travel around some of these cities.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.